my name is Leela and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making sweet and sour meatballs. Now these can be served in two ways. You can either serve them as an appetizer by sticking toothpicks into them, like I'm going to do in this recipe, or you can make the balls smaller and serve them as an entire dish. So let's go ahead and get started with our sweet and sour meatballs. Now I'm going to start with a half a pound of ground beef. This is actually ground chuck I have here, and a half a pound of ground pork. And what I want to do is just use my hands and mix these two meats together just like this. So go ahead and mix the ground beef and the ground pork together. And once the two meats are mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my green onion. Now I've already rinsed this green onion under cold running water and dried it with paper towels. So now I'm just going to chop off the end here and discard that, and then maybe about an inch off the top and discard that. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to cut it right down the center this way, long ways, and then just chop it into tiny pieces. And you want them really tiny because we're going to mix this into our meat. Now I'm going to start by adding my liquid ingredients. I'm going to add my soy sauce and the Shaoxing wine and the egg. And using my hand, I'm just going to mix all of these into the meat. And once the liquids are mixed in, I'm just going to go ahead and add in my ground ginger. Just sprinkle it in like that. And then my green onion. And I'm going to save the cornstarch for last. So I'm just going to mix these in, again using my hand. And once those ingredients are all mixed in, then I'm going to slowly just sprinkle in my cornstarch a little at a time and use my hand to mix it in, like that. And then again sprinkle, and continue until you have added all of the cornstarch to the meat. And once everything is thoroughly mixed into the meat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baking sheet and I'm going to just take a little bit of meat at a time, and I'm going to roll it into about 1-inch size balls. And I can just place this on the pan like that. And so you want to go ahead and use the meat and make the meatballs. Okay, and as you can see, it makes about 18 meatballs, and I've got them on my tray. And now what we want to do is go ahead and prepare the sauce. Now here I have all of the ingredients for the sauce, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix my beef broth with my rice vinegar and the sugar, the soy sauce, and the ketchup. Now I'm just going to stir this all up together, and it will be a little lumpy until we actually cook it. So just stir it up as much as you can, and then set this aside, and this is going to be the sweet and sour sauce for our meatballs. And here is the cornstarch, which I'm just going to mix with a little bit of water just until it dissolves. And this will be the thickener for our sauce. Now to cook the meatballs, I'm just going to fill a regular shallow pan that's non-stick with peanut oil about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I'm going to go ahead and heat it on high. Now the thing with this oil is we don't want it to get too hot because it will actually burn the meatballs. So we want to heat it on high, but then we're going to go ahead and turn it down to about medium or medium high. And you can tell as your meatballs are cooking, if they start to burn, you just want to turn that oil down because it's getting too hot. We want to try and keep it below 350, and we don't want it to get any hotter than that. So let's go ahead and heat our oil on high. Okay, and once the oil is hot, again, remember to turn it down somewhere between medium and medium high because we don't want to burn our meatballs. And we can just go ahead and put them in one at a time, just like this. And now I'll probably have to cook these in batches because we don't want to overcrowd the pan either. And remember, we want to try and check them. So once they're brown, we can go ahead and turn them over, just like this, onto the other side. Now it only takes about a minute on each side to make it brown, but what we want to do is just constantly turn them so that all of the sides are brown and then that the middle is cooked thoroughly. So once they're done, what we can do is just remove them and place them on a plate, and then we can go ahead and cook the remaining meatballs. Okay, and I have to shoot this. If anybody's heard the song about the lost meatball, well, I dropped one on the ground. So if you notice one missing, that's why. Actually, there's two missing. One because I ate one, the other one's right there. Okay, and once we wipe the pan out, we can go ahead and add in the sauce and heat it on high. And we want to wait until it comes to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we just want to stir until all of the ketchup pieces are dissolved. I don't know if you can see it on film here, but there's little pieces of ketchup that are still not yet dissolved. So we just want to stir it until they are completely dissolved. Okay, and once our ketchup pieces are dissolved, we can go ahead and add in our thickener and let the sauce get thick. And once the sauce becomes thick, we can go ahead and return the meatballs to the sauce and then just stir to coat all of the meatballs. And once the meatballs are coated with the sauce, then you can remove them from the heat. Now to serve them, I like to place them on a plate and place toothpicks in the center of each of the meatballs. This makes a great appetizer, especially for a cocktail party. Enjoy!